Hello, and welcome to the latest episode of Your Abundance podcast. I'm Eiran Trethowan, and I am your host. And on the journey with you to your abundance, to our abundance, to a level of life and satisfaction beyond our wildest dreams, I think would be the most delightful thing to say. So today's episode is all around satisfaction. Personally, so we're just going to touch a little bit on human design first. Majority of the population, about 70% of the population, are generators and manifesting generators. And our not self is frustration, but our unique code that lights us up is satisfaction. And I have been noticing a lot of frustrated people lately, including myself sometimes. I know I'm off path if I'm frustrated. I know I'm not aligned being a generator, and I'm a sacred generator. So I'm definitely connected to the feeling like the hit of this is lighting me up. This is for me. This is my thing. And everybody's different in human design. I'd love to know if you're watching this back and you are in the Your Abundance podcast Facebook group. Let me know what your human design is, and we can have a chat about that in there. But for majority of the population, even if it's not satisfaction, that is your key in your design. I know that some projectors have bitterness and success, and we've got different layers in different designs. The reality is that we want more satisfaction in our lives. And often, if we're asking for more from the feeling of frustration or the feeling of unsatisfied, then we never really seem to land in what I would like to call overflow, where you become calling in your manifestations from a place of overflow, like the cherry on top. So when we're looking at that, like for me, I've been playing in the world of manifestation for a long time now. And everybody wants different things. Everyone desires different things. And those desires have a direct impact on how we navigate the world around us, and then also how we magnetize and what we call in. And for me, the satisfaction code was something that unlocked a few times, but it would always come back as, frustration. And also feeling other people's, being highly empathic, feeling other people's frustration has also made a difference to how we feel as human beings. So the more people we can get into satisfaction, just can hear the song, I can't get no satisfaction. It's a reality for a lot of us. And often when you're going for a manifestation, whether it's money, a business opportunity, a new job, the satisfaction is key to success. It's the key to changing how we are. And often we want to look at how we can unblock ourselves from the frustration. What is it that's creating the frustration to then take us out of that connection to our most aligned self, to our most magnetic self? And for me, it's a daily task to bring it back, until recently when I landed in what I'm calling my satisfaction super growth era. That's why my new program for 2024 for one-to-one coaching and mentoring is called super growth. Because that feeling where you land in, like, I'm satisfied, it's not like it's enough. It's just saying I'm really deeply satisfied with my life. I'm deeply satisfied with my choices, with my interactions, with my relationships, and with what I do, with my purpose, being a parent. And I've gone through many aspects of my life where I didn't quite feel that way, but I did have this slight block to the feeling of satisfaction. And it was almost like, what do you mean? And so it wasn't until recently I delved into some work, inner child work, and I was looking at expanders who are women who are leaders, who are mothers, who are calling in love and money. But that leadership aspect, for me, the leadership aspect is really important because I'm a leader innately, like I just lead, but also doing it from a place of magnetism as opposed to doing it from a place of patriarchy, masculine, like leadership traditionally has been in that realm, although matriarchs exist. For me, it was dabbling in relationships. I was getting frustrated in a partner relationship where I'd have this leadership skill and then having to navigate, oh, I have to, in the relationship, but like, I have to not be that leader all of a sudden because I'm in a relationship and the man leads, like all this stuff around dating and all the things that come with it. But then that was translating also into money, like where am I leading money and where is money leading me? And it was interesting because when I wasn't feeling open to a relationship, it was showing up more in my money because I was like, not doing a relationship. And so these two things always come together, by the way, money and love in the unblocking process and in our subconscious are all. So sometimes you'll be calling in something to do with money and you need to unblock something in love to actually get that to work. Or the other way around, you'll be calling in love and you need to unblock money. Especially if you've done the unblocking and you feel expanded and you're taking aligned action to that manifestation, which I was, and then I hadn't realized I was still blocked in the love aspect, not the money aspect. So I'd cleaned up my money energy in my subconscious. It was very clean. And I was like, still the manifestation wasn't dropping in the way I wanted it to, or it's not so much the way I wanted it, but in this expectation that I had, and it really translated back to my inner child's life of had it had expanders most, and it hadn't, where the traditional masculine feminine relationship was always what I saw, and this new way of being, I had to become not. I really had to become my own expander in it because I'd set up my life the way I wanted to live it. But also then once I cleared up that around leading and being the magnetic leader as opposed to the old ways of what leadership is, so the old paradigms, I cleaned that up. And then also then I had to look at where in myself was this thing that kept making me feel small, this thing that kept making me not want to. Like, I would lead and then I would pull back. I would lead and then I was pull back. Like, it was this in and out of my own magnetic leadership energy. And recently I was looking at a relationship, and the dynamic that was playing out was me dropping back into this almost submissive because I didn't want to be too dominant, because I've been told I was too dominant, too loud, too this, too that from a leadership perspective in my history, which was too much. And I had to so I would automatically pull back and remain small and hold back this energy of magnetism that I have, that I built so strongly in my authenticity. And this particular relationship I was looking at, I would lean in, or I felt all of a sudden that I needed to hold my energy back. Oh, I need to sit back here because that's what was taught. So the subconscious is coming through showing me that. But my magnetic self is going, no, don't do this. So I had to unpack this idea that the patriarchal idea of leadership was no longer where I sat. And when I talk about magnetic leadership, we're talking about you are led not knowing all the answers all the time, but you lead through intuition, you lead through knowing, you lead in a more feminine way. And when you lead in that more feminine way, what I found is that there are times, whether with a partner, masculine, feminine partner, or whether with the workplace in what I'm doing, with money, with offers, with clients, that there's times when I will lean in and lead, And there's times when the energy is telling me to sit back and say, it's not a hold back. It's not, I'm going to make myself smaller. It's saying that's the old paradigm. Like, we're not doing that anymore. We're leaning into that's not yet. There's more information to come. That's not for me, my move to make. And trusting when it's time to lead and when it's time to sit back, which is such a beautiful way to lead. And I think women, this is the paradigm shift. This is the thing that's going to change up the way you call in the things that are for you, and understanding if it's not quite there yet, one, you still need to unblock, possibly making the moves that you need to make, or you're not expanded enough. And so that's what I had realized. I just wasn't expanded enough in the love relationship that I could have this dynamic and stay in this magnetic leadership where I would maybe lead or maybe they would lead. And it became a dance, which is the very dance that I do with the universe every day. Sometimes I do things, sometimes the universe does things. Like sometimes we make moves and other times we take in the energy and we just let ourselves internalize something. Or even in our human design, we have lines. I'm a 6-2, and the first number, which is the 6, is my outward number. So my role model, I lead, I'm out there in the world, but I have this 2 line that is inwards and really in my compass, getting clear about who I am and what I want to do. And so even that's a dance of when am I leaning out and when am I in my inner world and navigating that. So I think that is part of this whole spiritual abundant journey, is that moving between what is outside of you and what is inside of you. We know what's inside becomes what's outside, but then in relation to other people, where do we need to lean in? Where do we need to lean back? And understanding leaning back is not the same as holding back, waiting energy, those kind of things. And I was thinking about it today. Procrastination is such an interesting thing that we often call ourselves out on. So I'm procrastinating, I'm not doing that thing, or I'm stuck in perfectionism, and I've spoken about that in a previous episode about how we can do that, and we all do. However, sometimes it's not procrastination. Sometimes it's that we haven't got all the moving parts yet. There's something else to come. And I always trust that. If my manifestation's not here yet and I'm clean, I've got my squeaky clean energy happening and I'm really aligned, then I understand that there's a movement, that something's coming that I need to know, and I will get the answer. And if I want an answer that I don't have, I ask for it and I receive it. So I've had that very innate trust in the universe. I am highly psychic. I'm highly intuitive. That's what makes me a great mentor and coach. And it helps me help you find where your dynamics are, the hidden dynamics in your business, in your life, in your relationships. We, in my one-to-one containers, we navigate all the worlds that we live in. And then obviously with my programs and things. But there's always this movement of what is it that we need to do to create more magnetism, but also it's not doing it. What move do we need to make that's the most expansive? What is the ping that we need to take? Like the ping that's coming in, what's the move from that ping? What's the information? And sometimes we don't get all of it at the same time. When you think, da, 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 I've got all this information coming, and it's like the download came and this is it. And then especially with clients, I learned very early on to let the energy just show me as I went. But then you go to your own life and you're like, why isn't that happening yet? And I learned that's exactly the same kind of dance. And bringing this back to the topic that I began with, which is satisfaction, like with the magnetism, like being satisfied actually invites in the cherries, invites in the things of it can get better. It can only get better. It's getting better. It always gets better than this. And once I unpacked all the things that were keeping me unsatisfied or in frustration, I became satisfied. And now there's a different kind of knowing that's landing. There's a whole other ball game around knowing things that are on their way, knowing the waves that I've been making, the momentum I've been creating, and understanding the calling in energy and really being in that magnetism, and that it becomes the cherry on top. And that is delicious, which I just completely love. I love the deliciousness of it. And I also love that there's a satisfaction, there's a gratitude, and there's a knowing that what is for you will come. It will come. But there is a part that you have to play where you have to unblock, you have to make the moves. And if you haven't got you want support in doing that, find support. And then also finding expanders. And the best way to find expanders is to find people who love expanding because they're most likely the ones who are going to show you. And also understanding learning how to be a self-expander is absolutely delightful. So this episode is all about really leaning into how can you feel more satisfied in your life today, and what moves you into frustration and what moves you into satisfaction. And then if you are like in a position like me and you're feeling satisfied, what is it that keeps you satisfied? Because the question I ask now is not the same as what I used to ask around satisfaction. Now, because I feel so satisfied that I actually feel my question is something comes in for me to respond to in the world as a generator, the question is this going to move me away from satisfaction or allow more of it in? Allow the energy to remain and to be like in this deliciousness. And so if you're struggling with any kind of satisfaction, I've got a few new ways that you can come and work with me. And I'm so excited. This is the stuff. This is what I've been waiting for. I was just like, it's all just been dropping in, and the energy's been like just landing and the little pieces of the puzzles. And I'm like, oh my God, so excited. You know about Super Growth, which is my one-to-one coaching, and that is something that you can contact me directly about, and we can discuss where you're at and what the bespoke package looks like for you. And then what we do, I have, which is super new, and it literally is still in its own like navigation stage, but I am going to do a pre-sale, which is basically if you feel this energy and when I'm talking about it and you're like, oh my God, yes, this is for me, you will feel it. It's called the Magnetic Leader. And in it, there's going to be two ways that you can come in. There's going to be 6 trainings to lean into this. And then there's going to be a mastermind that attaches to it. So you can come into just the trainings. You could do individual trainings once I've released them. But if you wanted to say, yeah, this is for me and I'm in, you can join in. We're doing a mastermind that links you to all the trainings. So you can just buy the trainings, or you can come into the whole package where I'm going to be like diving in with you deeply on this magnetism, the leading with magnetism, the calling in, the balancing the masculine feminine energies in a different way, and truly understanding how to lead as a woman in your feminine. And so that is on sale now. If you're interested in that, you have to reach out to me. I haven't got any links or anything at this stage. I'm about to go and build them, but that's how pre we're at. And then the final one is basically it's a monthly membership. It's called Unblock Yourself. And it is for anyone who wants to join me once a month. It's once a month at this stage. And I can feel there's other little beautiful things that are going to come into this membership, but it's going to be live unblockings once a month. So we're going to access all the things that I have done for the last 20 years to unblock myself, but also to align to this energy of truth, satisfaction, authenticity. If you want a tool that we need, I have many tools. I can't even describe how many tools, but we'll be working with some of my own tools. We're working ones that I've tweaked and working with ones that I know work. where we're going to be unblocking energy as a group. We're going to be unblocking beliefs. We're going to be unblocking ourselves to call in to be more magnetic and call in the things that we're calling in. And it is going to be so exciting. So what's happening with this is I've opened 10 spots up for lifetime access, which means, because I'm in this for the long haul, I've been doing this for 10 years, I'm not going anywhere. The membership I'm so excited about it. And so there's 10 spots where it's 888 for a spot, but that gives you lifetime membership. And then, or you can come and join in if you want to just come month to month. It's $88 a month. And that gives you month to month, and you just sign over. You can come, stay as long as you want, leave when you want. But I'm sure the unblocking is going to be like, yes, this is next level. So we are going to start off soon. But if you want one of the 10 lifetime access, so basically you'll get 10 months worth you're getting for the whole time. And you get access to all the recordings, the replays, anything else that goes in the group. And then, as I said, there's going to be some special things that I'm going to add in as we get going. So this is a good time to jump in if you want to access that. I will have links, hopefully, in the comments. I'm saying hopefully because these things, the last two things I'm talking about, are very new, but I'm so lit up with them. I'm so excited and can't wait. And then the final thing is Know Your Biz, which is the mentorship program, which is 6 weeks. There's 6 mentor spots. There's 5 left. And that is all about your business. We're going to look at unblocking any hidden dynamics in your business as stopping the income flow and any other things that are stopping the things coming together, your business really coming together, calling in clients, having a magnetic business, basically. You can also join that program if you don't want a mentorship spot as a witness, and you can just come in and watch for the 6 weeks. You will learn a lot in that as well, because just witnessing and watching constellations and how the things that are in the way of people blocking will help you unblock as well, and also expand you in the business sense. So I'm bringing 10 years in my own business, and then 20 years in corporate, working with many different businesses and industries, but also have an advertising marketing background myself. So I have many different ways to support you in that with that. And then on top of that, the organizational constellation facilitation, which will change the dynamic of your life, your business, and who you are as a person and how you shine your light in the world, because that is what I'm here for. I'm so excited to get you to be who you just equally desire to be. No more staying small, no more holding back, and really just expanding yourself and being who you are. So this is super, super exciting for me. And I am been on a bit of a trajectory, but this is what abundance is all about. Abundance is being in your truth, living authentically, calling in your manifestations, holding your energy in a way that you truly, love. That's what we're here for. We're here to experience life. We're here to make change on the planet. And I know if you're listening to my podcast, you're definitely one of those people. And I welcome you. If you have any questions, don't forget to jump into the Facebook group. If you love this episode and you get something or receive please come in and let me know. I'd love to hear from you all. I'm not shy of having a chat, because I'm loud and dominant and love having conversations. And that's the magnetic leader that I am. So I welcome you. Thank you. Welcome you into any of my containers that you want to come into, and I will see you and speak to you next episode if I don't speak to you first. Have a good one.